time to look deeper into the world of sports. That's where we find Logan Hancock, a local athlete who overcame a nightmare in order to live his dream. In 2005, Logan Hancock was a star running back and wrestler for Central High School. He was so good that he had offers to play college football. But Logan chose a much different sport, mixed martial arts.
A lot of people say I'm crazy, you know. There's no other rush like it unless someone steps in the ring or the cage. And that's just what keeps me going. It's just too much fun going in there, you know, knowing that you're going to get punched and you get to punch someone else without getting in trouble. It's just a rush and it's addicting.
Logan financed his addiction for fighting by working on a drilling rig. But in July of 2007, something went terribly wrong.
I was working up on a drilling rig in Hell's Gulch up in Silt, and I was doing a normal connection, and my snub line came undone, and it threw me into my tongs and ended up smashing my face. And I got trapped in there for a few minutes, and I got up and I stood up, and I spit out my teeth, but I was still in shock. I really wasn't coherent and didn't really know what was going on. I knew I was hurt, but I didn't know how bad I was. And I looked in the mirror and ripped off the roof of my mouth and folded my chin in my mouth. So that's when I realized it wasn't good.
It took 4 surgeries, but doctors were able to repair his face. But then they delivered a blow that to Logan was worse than any knockout punch.
The doctor said I'd never play or do a full contact sport again in my life, and I really wasn't satisfied with that. I know my body better than anyone. For someone to tell me that, it's almost like a challenge to me, and so I made the decision to do it again.
But the decision to return to fighting wasn't just up to Logan. He also had to convince his wife, Jordan.
I'd be lying if I said I was all for it. I was definitely really concerned at first. Biggest concern, obviously, was he weaker in the jaw, and was he going to knock out teeth? And I didn't want to see him go through that again. It was a really horrible experience, and he went through a lot of bad times, and I didn't want him to have to go through that again. But when I saw he was committed and he really wanted to do it, and he was a lot happier the second time around, and it just fulfilled him, then I was like, okay, let's get on board and I'll support him for this.
Logan began training once again, but this time he had a different perspective.
I see my days, limiting down, because I never know when my last fight is. I just take a less serious side of it, and at the end of the day, when I'm smiling, I know it's a success, because at the end of the day, I'm happy. It's not about winning or losing. It's about going out there and having fun and just doing my thing.
So a year and a half after the accident that nearly ended his career, Logan Hancock returned to the ring, and it took only a minute and a half for him to prove it was a success. Now, Logan continues to train at Impact Boxing Gym in downtown Grand Junction. His next fight is tentatively scheduled for the beginning of June.